have an impact on surgeries for women.
Coming up on Ignite News, Mohawk College receives a classroom the size of a plane, culture explodes through the halls of Mohawk during International Education Week, and Hamilton police tackle down the racy issue of sexting.
You're going to think I sound like a broken record coming up in your weather update. I'm going to have a 24-hour and 5-day forecast, so be sure to stick around.
Ever want to have your voice heard in a documentary about Bruce Springsteen? I've got the information coming up on your entertainment.
The Blue Jays went fishing last night. I'll tell you what or who they landed coming up in sports.
All this and more coming up on Ignite News.
Good morning and welcome to Ignite News for Wednesday, November 14th. I'm Dana Palmer.
And I'm Anisha Seth. Here's what's making news.
A Vancouver man has died after being tased by police. Police responded to a call of a man threatening himself with a knife. They found Alton Cayugan in a distraught state and tased him after he stabbed himself repeatedly. Cayugan was taken to hospital where he later died. BC's Independent Investigations Office are still trying to determine his cause of death.
A fire that broke out last night has destroyed a Dundas business. Fire crews responded to the blaze at Prima Canada on 10 Bond Street. Officials say the fire started from a stack of wooden pallets and spread across 5 buildings on the Prima compound. Police say the damage is estimated at $1.5 million. However, no one was injured.
Former Liberal MP Martha Hall Findlay will announce today that she's a candidate for leadership of the Federal Liberal Party. This news comes on the same day that the Liberal Party officially kicks off the campaign race. Findlay ran for party leadership in 2006 but lost to Stephen Dion. This time around, Findlay faces even stiffer competition from the ever-popular Justin Trudeau. This election for leadership of the party was triggered by the announcement of Michael Ignatieff's resignation in May of 2011. The winner will be announced on April 14, 2013.
A classroom was donated to Mohawk College, but here's the catch. The classroom is so big that it has to be stored at the Hamilton International Airport. Ignite News reporter Diego Flamini has more.
It might look like any other airplane, but take a walk inside and it's anything but. The Boeing 727 jet was donated by Kelowna Flightcraft and will serve as the newest classroom and lab for Mohawk's aviation program located at the Hamilton International Airport. The luxury interior and gadgets that once lined the aircraft have been ripped away, leaving exposed wiring and oxygen hoses for the students to work on. Instructor Blaine Stafford says the life-sized lab could help students find a job after graduation.
Well, we kind of like to think that we offer a little bit of everything, but having a big airplane on board, having something that the students can actually get their hands on to work on, is going to give them that little bit of an advantage over someone who maybe only ever gets to work on the lighter aircraft.
First-year student Jeffrey De Silva says the plane offers a learning dynamic that a textbook simply can't.
You only can learn so much off the books, and a lot of the kids in the aviation program are more hands-on kind of learners. So the fact that we actually get to hold the bolts in our hand, hold the tools, actually get to use them before we actually go out into the field is actually a huge experience for us.
The plane used to belong to Hotel Magnate Leona Helmsley. It was donated to Mohawk last fall, but had to be stripped of its luxury interior. Everything down to its solid gold faucet. For Ignite News, I'm Diego Flamini. Over and out.
A new procedure has allowed a vegetative man to finally communicate after 12 years. Researchers at the University of Western Ontario monitored the brain activity of 39-year-old Scott Routley using a magnetic imaging procedure. They saw different parts of his brain light up as he heard questions. Routley, who was injured in a car accident, was able to tell doctors he is not in pain. Researchers say the breakthrough will allow others in Routley's condition to communicate.
Enjoy your coffee while you can. That morning cup could become a relic of the past. British and Ethiopian researchers have found the wild Arabica bean may face extinction due to climate change. These beans only account for a small percentage of the world's supply, but as the backbone bean of the industry, its loss could have devastating effects.
International Education Week kicked off bringing a multicultural side to Mohawk. Ignite News reporter Amber Warren has the story.
The Bhangra dancers were on display at the Arnie on Wednesday during Common Hour for Culture Fest, a kickoff to International Education Week here at Mohawk. Although there was a minor traffic inconvenience that kept the audience waiting, events programmer Baldeep Rednana says that the event was entertaining for what they had to work with.
There's a steel drum act planned, so there was a 5-piece steel drum act, there was Polynesian dancers, and then the Bhangra team that performs.
Students say that it was a bit of a wait, but once the Bhangra dancers performed, it really showed how multicultural Mohawk can be.
This is definitely necessary for the way we're going in Canada to be multicultural.
Somehow it shows how this country is multicultural.
Several more events for International Education Week will occur from November 12th to the 16th. And Wednesday will feature a private chef cooking up some bugalicious delight. For Ignite News, I'm Amber Warren.
Toyota is recalling nearly 3 million vehicles because of a water pump problem and a possible steering defect. The models include Priuses, Corollas, Wishes, and other models produced from 2000 to 2011. The Prius, once celebrated for its technological breakthroughs, is also being examined for window default that may cause fires. Toyota's reputation has taken a hit after several recalls over the last several years involving 14 million vehicles.
As a part of Crime Prevention Week, Hamilton's police crime prevention branch tackled sexting. Ignite News reporter Sarah Aitchison has the story.
He shows 1 in 5 young adults have sent or posted a nude picture or video. Hamilton's Crime Prevention Branch launched a presentation on November 8th about sexting and the need for awareness for the new term. Hamilton's Crime Prevention Officer, Claus Wagner, led the presentation, stressing that sexual violence through sexting is a reality in Ontario.
Really, this is where a lot of this started, was the colleges and universities, and we're finding out now that it does have serious consequences because you're in your first year and it's all a party and you've sent a naked picture of yourself possibly, and now you're in your 4th year and you're going out putting job applications and they go on to Facebook and then they find out this picture and you think to yourself, oh my goodness, what did I do? Amanda Todd really brought it out there to the forefront where everybody jumped on this and said, you know what, it's not a backroom type thing, it's not a playground thing, it's not in your bedroom by yourself with your friend or your boyfriend. It's out there and it's happening all the time.
Several students at Mohawk say they have witnessed incidents attributed to sexting.
I had a friend in high school who sent a picture to a guy and he exposed her all through Facebook.
I know lots of people that have received scandalous photos, and I've seen lots of photos that maybe I didn't really want to see that much.
As technology has advanced, has sexting within the college environment increased?
I think it's increased everywhere with the increased use of technology. It becomes easier. We need to be teaching people morals and values that teach them that sending nude photos of yourself to people really, isn't the best thing to do.
Sexting may not be as sexy as it seems. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Sarah.
Tens of thousands of tourists and astronomers gathered in northern Australia early this morning to witness a rare solar eclipse. An eclipse, which occurs when the moon passes between the Earth and the Sun, put the northern part of Queensland into darkness for over 2 minutes. A partial eclipse was also expected in parts of Indonesia and New Zealand. The next total solar eclipse won't take place until March 2015.
And here's a look at today's top stories. A Vancouver man has died after being tased by police. A fire that broke out last night has destroyed a Dundas business. And a new procedure has allowed a vegetative man to finally communicate after 12 years.
Let's check in with Dimitri for your weather update.
Thanks, girls. Sun and cloud all across the board today. Starting things off in Windsor, we see sun and cloudy periods and a temperature of 4 degrees. London is also experiencing sun and variable cloudiness. They're at 4 degrees as well. Over in the Golden Horseshoe, Niagara Falls is at 4 degrees with sun and cloudy skies. More the same in Toronto, sun and cloudy periods with a temperature of 6 degrees. And here in the Hammer, we see more mixtures of sun and cloud and a temperature of 5 degrees. Looking at the 24-hour forecast, variable cloudiness heading into the evening with the temperature going down to 1 degree, but it's going to feel like -2. Overnight we drop to 0 while it's going to feel like -4 degrees. And then tomorrow morning temperature goes up to 2 degrees with a mixture of sun and cloud. And taking a look at the next 5-day forecast tomorrow, some more sun and variable cloudiness with a high of 6 and a low of 0 degrees. 7 degrees on Friday with sun and some cloudy periods. And good news for the weekend as we continue to see that sunshine. Mix of sun and cloud on Saturday with a high of 8 and a low of 0. Identical numbers for Sunday as that sun sticks around. And Monday, variable cloudiness along with some sunshine and a 6-degree high and a 1-degree low. That is all for your weather. Let's check in with Taylor to see what's going on in entertainment.
Thanks, Dimitri. The 50 Shades of Grey phenomenon has officially taken over Toronto. A musical parody of the hard-hitting novel debuts at the Panasonic Theatre in Toronto tonight, a run that will last through to Sunday. The Toronto-based director and co-writer Jim Millen says the show feels like a rock concert, and the response to the musical parody has been strong. Spank, the 50 Shades parody, has already sold out shows in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Las Vegas, and is due in Chicago later this month. And if you haven't found the time to see INXS rock out at a live show in the past 35 years, well, your opportunity has been missed. The Australian rock band has announced the end of its incredible 35 years touring during a concert and was later confirmed in a statement made by the band earlier this week. In their statement, the band members touch on the loss of frontman Michael Hutchence, who died in 1997. The band honored their friend, saying, "We lived for each other in the trenches and we loved each other. It was the 6 of us against the world, and then suddenly and inexplicably, we were 5. Now let's check in to see what's happening around the campus. Good morning, I'm Taylor Ablett, and this is today's community calendar. Tomorrow, November 15th, the START Institute at the Stony Creek campus will be having a free pancake breakfast from 9 to 10 a.m. in room A121. Email jessica.vanhuren@mohawkcollege.ca for more information. Artword Art Bar and Gallery presents Naked Hamilton, a one-act play by playwright and director Sky Gilbert at the Citadel Theatre from Wednesday, November 15th to Sunday, November 18th. Cost is $5. And Historical Perceptions Tour is giving a Veterans Tour on Saturday, November 17th. The tour focuses on Hamilton's rich history and interesting personalities and will take you through selected grave sites in historic Hamilton cemeteries. Calling all Bruce Springsteen fans, a new documentary called Springsteen and I is looking for fans to make short films about what Springsteen means to them, whether you're a longtime listener or just hearing the boss for the first time. Submit your short under 5-minute video to springsteenandI.com through November 29th. And that's all for your entertainment. Time to pass it over to Diego with sports.
Thanks, Taylor. Well, so much for being a quiet offseason. The Toronto Blue Jays and Miami Marlins completed a huge deal, shocking the baseball world and Jays fans. Among the players Toronto sent to Miami are Adeiny Hechavarria, Yunel Escobar, and pitcher Henderson Alvarez. In return, shortstop Jose Reyes, pitchers Josh Johnson and Mark Burley, and former Blue Jay John Buck come north. With this trade, the Blue Jays take on nearly $164 million in contracts and address some of their offseason concerns. So with this trade, we took to the halls of Mohawk to see what students think of the trade and how it affects the Blue Jays.
I think the trade's a blockbuster, but it's a wait-and-see approach.
It's the first big trade Alex Anthopoulos has made, and he hasn't spent money in the first 3 years. He was manager. Now he does, and I think it's a great trade.
I think it's probably a little bit for the better, like Alex Anthopoulos, I think is how you say his name. He's trying to actually make an improvement. So it's a step in the right direction. I don't think it's going to solve all their problems.
I'm happy they've stepped up their offense a little bit. They've been kind of slacking in the pitching
in recent years. So, and they've got great defense. So, I mean, should be good next year. Looking forward to it.
I think the trade is a good trade. The Jays didn't need to win a championship again. It's been a long time. So, yeah, I'm all for it.
Switching to the NBA, despite only scoring 5 points the entire fourth quarter, the Toronto Raptors managed to squeak out their second win of the season, topping the Indiana Pacers 74-72. DeMar DeRozan led all Raptors scorers with 15 points. The Dinos continue their road trip Saturday when they travel to Boston to play the Celtics. And in NHL lockout news, Sidney Crosby spoke out yesterday saying the owners don't seem willing to negotiate. The lockout is on day 58 and a deal would have to be struck by next week to even consider a shortened season that would start on December 1st. That's all I've got for your sports. Let's move back to Dana and Anisha.
Forget the car seat. A new law in Louisiana has passed to allow pregnant women to use carpool lanes when driving. Governor Bobby Jindal had a press conference to announce the decision and encourage other states to do the same. The law will take effect on December 1st and now counts pregnant women to count as not one but two people, allowing them to use the lane freely.
And that is your news for Wednesday, November 14th. For more news coverage, check out our website at ignitenews.ca. I'm Dana Palmer.
And I'm Anisha Seth. Thanks for watching, Mohawk.